Ever since my youth, I've always dreamed of becoming a doctor. Having the title of doctor means that you're a master of your craft, a genuine professional in your respective field, an individual that has devoted their time and energy to understanding and taking to heart something that interests them, whether it be medicine, science, or potentially another subject. There is only one doctor in the MLP Analysis community, and he is more than deserving of that title. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Dr. Wolf. Voice of Reason, I owe you big time for this. It was your moment with this guy that first introduced me to him. After watching that video, I went to see what other things Dr. Wolf had to offer, and what I found were some really well done episode reviews, some of my favorite topic discussions of any MLP reviewer, and of course the series A Moment with Dr. Wolf, which has since become my favorite MLP Analysts spin-off series. Yup, even better than that of the Ponyverse. When I say that the title Doctor implies excellence, I'm not kidding. I could tell that Dr. Wolf puts a lot of genuine effort into his reviews and discussions. A lot of his discussions like Scorcher's Trixie's Opposite, the potential of Spike being the element of sacrifice, and the quiet wisdom of Big Mac are incredibly well done. But he does more than just that. He does dramatic readings, reviews of MLP fan works, covers of MLP songs, and basically anything under the sun. If you're a brony and you're curious about his channel, I'm sure you'll find something to like about it. Now let's get to the real meat and potatoes of why I like Dr. Wolf, and that's his series A Moment with Dr. Wolf. This series is incredible. The basic idea of this series is that Dr. Wolf is a therapist that discusses certain topics of interest with whatever analyst happens to step into his office that day. The topics range from thoughts on certain character roles in the series to more general topics like quality control in the brony community. This is a great concept, and not only is it well voiced and well illustrated, but it gives more character to the analysts featured in each episode. We get to hear their thoughts on certain topics that we probably wouldn't hear about in their normal videos. Or maybe we have heard their thoughts, but this just allows us to hear more detail about them. No matter what brony or Pegasister is sitting in that office, I know I'm in for a good time. Lastly is something that's a strange thing to talk about, but I still think it's worth mentioning, and that's Dr. Wolf's voice. Out of any MLP reviewer, I could safely say that Dr. Wolf is the nicest to listen to. That may seem like a strange thing to praise, but when you think about it, MLP reviews seem to focus chiefly on just someone, probably with an OC, discussing their thoughts on whatever they're reviewing. I mean, wouldn't you rather listen to this? Hey everyone, hope you're all doing well today. I'm here to talk about the latest episode of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. Instead of this...
Hey guys, how you doing? It's good to see you. I'm here to talk about My Little Pony Friendship is Magic because I'm up here the best show ever.
Yeah, I thought so. A great reviewer, a great singer, and just an overall great guy, this is one doctor I'd go to see any day. And before you ask, yes, I'm aware of what happened to his YouTube channel temporarily, and I swear, YouTube, if you try to take another swing at the good doctor, I will lay my vengeance upon thee! See that? I can hold a sword with no fingers. Don't mess with the bronies. Best intro ever. Now let's move into some truly golden territory with Josh Scorcher. Now out of everyone on this list, I've admired Josh the longest, and that's because I was a huge fan of his gaming channel long before I became a brony. He's still up there with Fawful's Minion, Rabbid Luigi, Joe the Nerd, and the Grumps as one of my favorite online gamers. I had known for a while that he reviewed MLP episodes, but I didn't care for the show at the time, so I never bothered to check them out. But one day I got bored and decided to pull one up. And dang was I missing out on some great stuff. The best way I can describe the reviews on Josh Scorcher's channel is imagine if the Nostalgia Critic was a brony and he reviewed MLP episodes instead of movies. I'm not kidding, this guy could be Nostalgia Critic levels of entertaining at times. Whether he's collabing or on his own, he has funny jokes, great references, and very fair reviews of the episodes he covers. The reviews always end with a final verdict laid out like a report card with assigned letter grades to all the parts of the episode that either succeeded or failed. I also like the choice of episodes he has for these reviews. They're not only episodes that lead themselves to a lot of chances for good jokes, but they're also episodes that the brony community is usually torn on, like Feeling Pinky Keen, Bridal Gossip, and Over a Barrel. I've seen a lot of bronies that either love or hate these episodes, and it's interesting to see Josh tackle them and present his feelings in his own entertaining way. You bring the episode, he brings the awesome. Simple as that. But these hilarious live-action reviews are only half of the whole Josh package. The other half lies on his channel FOB Equestria, where the mighty Commander Firebrand, sporting my favorite OC of any brony by the way, talks about his thoughts on certain episodes in true analyst fashion, with his series taking insert MLP episode title here too seriously. And as the title implies, this is the more serious side of Josh, where he presents his opinions, theories, and overall thoughts on the episodes in question. And most of the time, his thoughts on most of the episodes he talks about actually mirror mine. Like, directly mirror mine.
Great minds think alike, I suppose.
And that channel also has podcasts, interviews, and plenty of other things to keep you guys entertained, if you ever want to check them out. So whether you're looking for Nostalgia Critic-esque comedic reviews or well-put-together analytical reviews, Josh has you covered in both regards.
There's a time to be silly, and there's a time to be serious.
And in my opinion, no one puts that forth better than Josh. Commander Firebrand, I'd gladly enlist in your army any day. I need to work on my aim. Alright, let him go! It is with great pride and pleasure that I introduce the definitive Brony reviewer, the MLP analyst that defines classic, the stallion that leaves a paved road for others to follow, the MLP mustachioed master, the wise chap with a tutor cap, the Brony who's curious and can sometimes get furious. Man, screw it. Brony Curious, everybody. Digi may have been the first MLP analyst I ever saw, and the one who got me interested in the community as a whole, but while he ended up descending down the list as time went on, Brony Curious, also known as Tommy Oliver, barely moved an inch. He was fantastic, he's still fantastic, and if he keeps this up, he'll always be fantastic. What I see in Tommy is someone who can leave a trail behind him. He basically paves a road that anyone hoping to join the community can follow. Just like Digi, his videos mainly consist of the classic formula where you put your OC at the front line and express your opinions and thoughts to all that want to listen. But what makes Tommy stand out are that his analysis skills are off the freaking charts. Unlike Josh, who most of the time mirrors my opinions, Tommy actually managed to change my opinions most of the time. I'll use the obvious example, Suited for Success. At first I wanted nothing to do with it. Didn't really care for it, thought it was okay, but didn't really want to rewatch it. But then I saw Tommy's review of it, and he called it
the best example of modern Western animation as service in a long time.
Okay, maybe that's a little bit of a stretch in my opinion. But regardless, after listening to what he had to say, I watched the episode again, had a moment of clarity, and realized how good it really was. Just goes to show how skilled he is. I mean, if you could do a full-fledged analysis on something as stupid as Big Horse and still sound like you know what you're doing, you've got mad skills. And then of course you have his collabs. Whether he's with Digi or Anthony, he's always entertaining to watch. It gives him a chance to not only be smart, but also be funny. I could watch that clip of him and Digi fanboying over Princess Twilight Sparkle for hours and never get bored of it.
Oh my gosh, 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 oh my gosh. Did you see that part where Luna was like,
And Discord's all like,
and Celestia is like, Princess Twilight.
and then, oh!
Oh yeah, and did I mention he sings better than Tabitha St. Germain?
Stitch by stitch, stitching it together. Twilight dress, the cutting of the pattern snip by snip, making sure the fabric folds nicely. It's a perfect color and so hip. Always got to keep in mind my pacing, making sure the clothes correctly facing. I'm stitching Twilight's dress.
Wow. If they ever do a gender swap episode of MLP like they did with Adventure Time, Tommy has to do Rarity's voice. Or at least her singing voice. Come on, Hasbro, make it happen. There's a lot to love about Tommy, and I feel like he's truly stood the test of time, accumulating over 50,000 subscribers on his YouTube channel. That's insane, but not surprising. Tommy, just keep doing what you're doing, because you're doing one hell of a good job. So after all the praise I just gave to Tommy, you're probably wondering, who could top that? Well, there still are 3 other analysts that I do like better than him. And I'm going to start off this top 3 with a guy that I not only admire as an MLP analyst, but just as a person in general. And that guy is the mysterious Mr. Enter. Similar to Josh, Mr. Enter was a YouTuber that I liked way before I became a Brony. Why is that, you may ask? It's because his channel is not 100% MLP based. His channel consists of 3 major parts: MLP reviews, admirable animations, and animated atrocities. Out of all these 3 shows, the last 2 definitely steal the show from me. Mr. Enter himself is an animation lover, and he's taken it upon himself to dig deep into the bowels of the animation industry and find the hidden gems and the absolute failures. In Admirable Animations, he talks about pieces of media that truly push the boundaries of what animation is capable of, from a story, imagery, emotional, and/or comedic standpoint. He then goes through the basic plot synopsis and explains exactly what it is that makes it so admirable. I owe Mr. Enter a lot for getting me into shows like Samurai Jack and Courage the Cowardly Dog. Animated Atrocities, on the other hand, are the exact opposite. This is where he analyzes things that give the animation industry a bad name. Things that are sometimes so horrendous that they make you question, why? Whether it's SpongeBob, G3, or the occasional dropped pilot, these are always a blast to watch, making it my favorite of his 3 shows. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about ponies. So let's talk about his reviews. Now, not only do I think Mr. Enter's reviews are well written and well put together, but I actually think they're revolutionary. Not just for MLP reviews, but reviews in general. Mr. Enter uses this unique point system when he reviews MLP episodes. It constantly stays in the top left corner, and he continuously adds and removes points as he points out the episode's strong and weak points. This is a great concept. With this system, we actually get to see and hear all the positives and negatives he has with the episode. So it comes as no surprise when he gives the episode his final verdict. Now, the final verdict itself has 2 levels, a critical level and a personal level. The critical level is shown by a star ranking, which could range anywhere from 0 to 5. This shows how well the episode holds up based on critical points such as characterization, comedy, story, moral, and things of that nature. Then there's the personal level, where Mr. Enter displays his personal feelings about the episode as to whether he personally loved it or hated it. It could range anywhere from platinum to gold to silver to bronze to This system is good because it shows that just because an episode is critically bad, he doesn't have to hate it, and vice versa. His system is solid, his points are well thought out, and everything about Mr. Enter, in my opinion, is truly admirable.